Vinod.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. Welcome to our 5 days faculty development program. Today is our third day of the program. Today is our eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Priti Shukla ma'am, consultant registered dietitian and nutritionist, director, Nutri Needs Health Consultancy Indore. National Executive Member, Indian Dietitian Association. Ma'am has achieved many things and one of the certified diabetic educator. Ma'am has published many research papers which is the international reputed journal. Ma'am, welcome to our 5 days faculty development program. Please provide your knowledge for us. Thank you so much and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Shakti, for inviting me for this talk. Uh, Today, I'll be talking about nutrition for athletes. Can I share screen? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So, talking about nutrition for athletes. So now in today's talk, as I've been there in Sage University for times, and I have spoken on nutrition for adults, nutrition for college students. So today I took a topic of nutrition for athletes, as many students would like to pursue a career for this athletics. So once we are seeing that excellence in sports involve judicious planning, physical fitness, motivation, superb technique, hard work, and good nutrition. It all plays a very important role in excelling in any kind of sports. Nutrition is the base of high level of achievements in sports. Athletes all over the world are in constant search of a perfect diet to accomplish their best performance. So traditional diet, what we see with the pehelwans and all, it used to be a buffalo milk, pure ghee, almonds in post-training breakfast. Lunch will be chicken soup and roti. Snack will be thandai, mix of milk, nuts and fruits. And we have seen in a lot many movies also they are consuming a lot of milk. And then dinner is roti, sabji and chicken soup. So this was a Pehelwani kind of a diet which was followed earlier. So what we have come up to know that knowledge is poor to fair to poor in this study where we have where Gitanjali Kelkar Bhide is a sports nutritionist who has done a study knowledge attitude and practices of sportsmen. So she has found out that the nutrition knowledge is poor, regional cultural variations, that is diversity is maximum, eating patterns are different, weight loss practices and knowledge attitude and practices depicts sports specific variations. Pelvani sports will require something else and sprint will require something else for the diet. So sports nutrition versus everyday nutrition. Once we are following, we need to assess our plate system. So athlete's plate will have something like this, which has a lot of carbohydrates and there are lean proteins plus the vegetables. Apart from this, they will have a lot of fats also. But once we are having a healthy plate, we have vegetable, fruits, whole grains, and healthy proteins in balanced manner. For athletes, it is dependent upon their training. So as we all know that there's sports person who into swimming, Michael Phelps. So he had to consume a 12,000 kilocalorie diet. So large meat, say foreigner for us. So all the choices are also Indian. But for Indians, the choices will be something different. Whereas it was a he used to eat less on roti. He had a lot of grains. So goal of performance nutrition is always like we should be having a goal to have optimal intake of vital nutrients. What are vital nutrients? Carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. Maximize recovery between training sessions. once the training session has started, so you have a recovery also. Reduce delay, hydration is very important. Weight management, that is loss or gain. Enhance focus, very or old athlete. Training plan, that is intensity and duration. So how many calories or say what is the female or male, or where the traveling is required. So traveling athletes also have their problems regarding that. So sports is specific. There are certain systems which are in use. The first is phosphagen system, which is required by the sprinters. It works for 8 to 10 seconds, and these are all say biological functions which are happening in our body. And there are certain like we have all studied in say science. There is Krebs cycle, glycolysis cycle. So what is that doing? That it is giving us some amount of ATPs. So which is the shortest method of obtaining ATPs and which is required in that sport. Like a sprinter will require a phosphagen system, whereas a swimmer who has say 400 meters of swimming, so it will require glycogen lactic acid system. And aerobic respiration is required for a marathon runner, so where he is running for 15 kilometers or ahead. So there are different systems which will provide necessary ATPs to have that kind of thrust, that kind of speed, and that kind of say power to finish up the sport or excel in the sport. So nutritional assessment depends upon the anthropometry, that is the height, weight. Biochemical means we need to assess the athlete for the say nitrogen in his body through his urea, creatinine. Then clinical, how is the blood pressure, what is the hemoglobin concentration. Then for fitness we need to assess on the step test, and the final thing is the dietary assessment. So the athletes exercising more than 5 hours per week. So we have designed this, say, pyramid system for them. So those who are exercising more than 5 hours a week, the hydration is very important. Then vitamins and minerals are important. Carbohydrates are also important. Then proteins are important, and then the fats. Sugar and salty snacks are is placed at the say on the top notch of this pyramid. So what it is doing, it is telling us that these should be consumed in the minimal quantities. So once we are having this kind of say assessment, so the main points to focus on is to stay well hydrated before, during, and post exercise. Sufficient fluid intake is essential for exercise and optimal recovery. Exercising causes the body to get warmer, so the body tries to cool down by sweating. This causes the loss of water and salts throughout the skin. Then hydration helps lubricate your joints. Dehydration, that is water loss in excess of 2 to 3% body mass, can cause tiredness and hinder performance by reducing strength and aerobic capacity. Water is generally best, but in cases of high intensity exercise and excessive sweating, an isotonic drink may be better. And always check your urine to know your hydration is status. So how do we check for that? If it is a dark yellow, then you're getting dehydrated. And if it is in a clear in color, that means your hydration levels are very good. So assessment of dehydration through the urine chart, which is like if you are gasping or you have dryness in mouth, that means you are having a dehydration. And once the body is dehydrated, the performance also drops. So it's very important for an athlete to be well hydrated in any kind of a sports. So body weight and composition also plays a very important role. Like nowadays we have bioelectrical impedance machines, which helps us in assessment of the body fat and the muscle, say, composition of the body. So optimal body weight is of prime focus, differs in training, competition, and off season. standard height and weight tables are not applicable for athletes. That means those which are given by the ICMR and the RDAs. So it is not very applicable for an athlete to guide the say over the calories and the requirements for that. Body composition will help us to know the percentage lean, fat, and water, affects physical strength, skill, and fitness, and varies for sports and phases of training and competition. So, like body fat in athletes. So, once we are talking about like a sport called basketball, so the male should be having 6 to 12% of body fat, whereas the females will have 20 to 27% of body fat in that. And you can see like what we are aiming, whichever sports we want to pursue, the body fat percentage should always be in the ranges which is desired for that say sport. If at all you are a weightlifter or wrestler, so those they pile on a lot of fats, so the females they accumulate a lot of fat in that, and that gives them the desired energy also to excel in that sport. So training sessions में जब हम we start with this, excuse. So novice, intermediate, advanced, elite. So these are the classifications of any kind of athlete. On that is status. So preparation is general and specific. Competition in that we have pre and actual competition say assessment. So volume, intensity, microcycle, mesocycle, which are all assessed on that. So we assess the athlete over this kind of a scale. Then once the athlete is traveling, so because there will be a lot of cultural and the food choices will also be so different, to make them say aware what to pick out of that is also a task for the dietitian. Because if the athlete is traveling, then the sleep cycle is also disturbed, hydration also gets bad, plus the choices of food. Like if a vegetarian athlete is traveling abroad, fine, the athlete is not going to have all the vegetarian dishes and which allow him to take lot of protein, carbohydrates, fat in the desired quantity will not be available. The choices will always be limited. So in transit, food safety is another concern. Self catering should be, all the athletes should be taught something to cook. So if they cook themselves, they are in a much better position, so they can say have all the carbohydrate, proteins, and fat, all the nutrients in places. And eating out, because they are traveling, plus they get only the burgers and the pizzas to bulk upon. Cultural differences, like what I said, if a vegetarian athlete is traveling abroad, then the problem is there to happen. So travel supplies are also very limited for them, because sometimes the sports authority or sometimes the manager, they do not provide enough say diet. So TIBH is requesting remote control. Who is TIBH? Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Yeah, I can remove it.
So I should say
I would
decline.
I would request to all participants, please don't share anything in screen. Please.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Yeah. So travel supplies is also not very say regular with the traveling athletes. So my slides have stopped moving again. Yeah. Yeah. So energy requirements. Once we are assessing any kind of athletes, like power sports, weightlifting, wrestling, boxing, judo, throwing. So these kind of sports, they require 70 kilocalorie per kg per day for an athlete, and the maximum kilocalories what they should be gaining out of the diet should be somewhere around 6,000. So as you can very well see in all the kind of sports, wherever it is the endurance sport, team sports, racket sports, so the calorie requirement is quite very high when compared to a normal person. So because their expenditure is very high, that is why they require a lot of things to eat. Plus, they need to meet the calorie requirement. Otherwise, their muscle loss will be booked. So this is say very much important for us and for the athlete to know that they require certain amount of calories to excel in that sports. Then there comes the carbohydrates. So once we are talking about the carbohydrate intake, it also applies with the per kg per day kind of a phenomena. So in this we have light, moderate, high and very high intensity exercises. So whichever sports require so that classification of sports is done earlier, and then we assess the light, moderate, high or very high intensity, the amount, the hours what the athlete is spending over the sport needs to be assessed. So in brief exercise, no need to consume anything. During high intensity, small amounts mouth rinsing are good. And during long endurance, stop and go. So it is like 30 to 60 grams per hour, like what the marathoner do. And during ultra endurance, up to 90 grams per hour is the carbohydrate intake which should be given. So now comes the most important, that is the protein needs. Because lot many athletes, they bulk upon having only the proteins in the diet, and they are eating egg, fish, chicken, anything of the protein sources only. But this is also very important for us to know that if you are bulking upon the proteins, and if you are not having enough carbohydrates in your diet, then the muscle development will be very slow. The muscle recovery will always be slow. So you need to balance the protein as well as the carbohydrates. Exercise initiates muscle building. Muscle protein synthesis and breakdown is a simultaneous and continuous process. Protein requirement depends on exercise intensity, duration, training, status, protein quality also. And protein need varies from 1.2 to 2 gram per kg of body weight, variable for each sport. So hypertrophy, those who want to bulk up their muscles. So muscle synthesis should be always more than what is muscle, which is broken down with the exercise. So once you are trying to make your muscles grow bigger, bulkier, then the right amount of protein as well as with the carbs is important for building up the muscles. Then protein requirements on the training and the competition day, there is a difference. So athletes, strength athletes, endurance athletes, they all have a different requirement for the training day as well as the competition day. So on the competition day, as you can very well see in this chart, that we do not give higher proteins on the competition day. जितना जितना बनाना था, जितना उसकी मसल्स को बनाना था, that has been done the prior to the competition, that is the training phase. And on the competition day, we do not give excess of proteins and calories for that. So protein timings is very important. When to take the protein, after what time we should be taking the protein. So 25 grams of high biological value protein with 10 grams of essential amino acids is necessary. Excess intake at one time is not beneficial. Like people in going to a gym, always they bulk on, they keep on sipping the protein intakes, like one scoop, two scoop. Some patients, those who come to my clinic, also those who are gym goers, they say ki ma'am, we are taking 3 to 4 scoops of protein per day, and they are not even pursuing this say bodybuilding as a career. So this amount of protein is not very say essential for us. So 3 to 4 small meals based on training should be given. This strategy promotes protein synthesis. So if you are giving like 2 to 3 scoops of protein after the exercise, only 25-30 grams will be absorbed, and the rest of it will go all in vain. So it is not a very great idea to keep on sipping the proteins post exercise. You need to evaluate what is your requirement and how you should be giving the proteins to the body. If at all you're giving all the proteins at a single time, then it will not be utilized for muscle building. Then it is lost in urine, then it is excreted out. It is kind of a waste for your money. So aim for 20-25 grams of protein, maybe more for some depending on the training. And leucine content of protein is important. That is, aim for 3 grams of leucine. Aim for 8 to 10 grams of essential amino acids. Have regular meals. That is 4 hours mein you need to take some kind of meal. So window of anabolic opportunity, once we are giving you say 3 to 4 hours of gap in between your say meals, so that is very much important. If you are consuming everything in one go, it is not going to give you the results. So maximal protein synthesis is 3 hours after exercise, gradually reduces up to 24 hours. So a fed state is better. In fed state, there is a better protein synthesis. In fasted state, minimal protein synthesis is there. And protein ingestion is 20 grams of protein in each meal, not even accessing to 35 grams. 6 to 8 grams of essential amino acid is required. So fats, once we are talking about the fats, intake should be 20 to 25% of the total calories required. Say if it is a 6,000 calorie required for that athlete, then 25% should be coming from the fat sources, usually higher than older other athletes. Fat intake of weight sports athlete could be lesser near competition. Fat should not be less than 15%. Focus on essential fatty acids. So RDA says also 20 to 35% of energy should come from all these fat sources, where omega-3 should be something around 0.6 to 1.2% of energy, and omega-6 fatty acid should be 5 to 10% of total energy. So then we have micronutrients also, and there are functions that is what role they do in the body and which vitamins and minerals. As per the slide, you can see energy production, when B complex vitamins, magnesium, iron, zinc, and copper, they provide all the energy production formation. Then blood formation, iron, folate, copper, and B12. So we have this iron, folate, copper, and B12. Lot many athletes, they are deficient in iron. They have anemia also. So we need to focus on this. Then bone health, calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, and vitamin A is important for bone health. Immunity, vitamin C, A, E, and iron, zinc, and selenium. And once we are talking about the antioxidants, vitamin A, C, E, zinc, selenium, and chromium are important. So micronutrient requirements, there is no specific recommendations are made for them. Adequate caloric intake and variety in the diet can readily meet the additional needs in athlete. So now what we see in the clinic also, the patient who is going to a gym will purchase these many supplements from the trainer itself. So what it is going to give you, this is creatine, this is this is L-carnitine, this is. So if you are following a simple and a balanced kind of a diet, you need not be taking so many supplements for say micronutrients. This is also say a gimmick, a market strategy. So they are providing a lot of supplements. But if you are following a simple balanced diet, which has proteins, fats, and everything according to your own requirement, you need not be spending so much on the purchase of all these micronutrients. Say supplementation is considered necessary only when there is a very low calorie intake, when there is a nutrient deficiency, when weight loss is required prior to competition, injury is there, or illness is there. Only then it is necessary. For normal fed state, we do not require these many supplements. Then before, during, and after exercise meals. So before should be carbs and after should be lean proteins with little bit of carbs. So we have made this food choices list which is like based on general awareness. Like the before exercise, dalia porridge with fruits can be taken. During exercise, diluted fruit juices can be taken, and post exercise, paratha to Indian canteen bars with juice can be taken post exercise. So these are the say food choices which can be followed by a sports person. Then before tournament, what we usually advise that choose familiar foods. Like if you had not been very comfortable eating a broccoli, don't eat a broccoli just before your tournament, because you never know what kind of impact it is going to give your gut. So if there is a gut, say imbalance or kind of a discomfort, that you lose your say concentration during the sport, so it is going to impact you negatively. Foods which settle hunger, 2 to 4 hours prior to competition, eat only when it is like this much of gap is there. Rich source of carbohydrate should be taken, and low fat and fiber should be taken in that meal, and moderate in protein and fats. Do not have lot many fats or protein just before the tournament, because it is going to require more energy to digest, plus it will make your movement slow, which can negatively affect your sport. What and when should I eat after tournament? So in first 30 minutes, replace fluids and electrolytes. Eat high carbohydrate foods. Examples are banana, yogurt, peanut bar. And within 2 hours, drink 2 to 3 cups of fluid for every kg lost, and eat a high carbohydrate meal with some protein. Example is like a chicken sandwich, rice and dal, what we can usually eat. And post workout food should be like muesli, milk and yogurt, eggs and orange juice, sandwich, protein shakes, dried fruits and nuts, bananas, sweet potatoes with butter. So sports and weight loss techniques, which is like, experienced and done by lot many, say, gymnasts and all, they have to shed their weight. They have to lose certain kilo before entering in that competition. So it is like, doing all kind of say all the gimmicks. So we need to have all these things also, but it is required in certain sports, and we do allow them to shed say 4 to 5 kgs in just 3 days of time, and then we can allow them to do so in strict in our guidance. Then consequences of weight loss, if you do it on your own and if you're not taking anybody's advice, it can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalance. Then cardiovascular strain is there, poor temperature regulation, renal function abnormalities, hypoglycemia, fatigue. Energy restriction alters hormones, mitochondrial efficiency, drop in total energy expenditures is also seen, and reduced weight loss and increased weight gain post your tournament. So do not follow any kind of a fad, say principle to lose weight. If you are a normal person or if you are a sports person also, always seek for a guidance which will allow you to excel in the sport, as well as not allow you to gain lot of fat post your training or post your competition. So when we are talking about the weight gain, resistance training and protein feeding, that this is like, very much important. Lot many people go to the gym also. What we are doing there is a resistance training and protein feeding. What I was telling you, a lot of people, they have, 2 to 3 scoops of protein shake post workout, which is not going to give you the desired result in the in your muscle bulking and all. So overload muscles to stimulate growth. What we are doing with the weight training, it's kind of a breaking process. You are trying to break your muscles with the resistance. So train major muscle groups, alternate muscle groups, train for muscle hypertrophy. 48-hour recovery between workouts is very important. And those who are trying to gain some muscles, hitting a gym daily, they are making a say very stupid kind of a mistake, because they are not allowing the rest in between two workouts, which can help them to gain some muscles. So requirements for increasing muscle mass is, first is resistance training is important, then positive energy balance and positive nitrogen balance is also needed to gain up some muscles. Sorry. So the four R's of recovery are, so to rehydrate, replenish, repair, and reinforce. So we follow this kind of a principle in which hydration is very important, replenishment is important, repair ke liye you need to allow some rest, and then reinforce your protein and carbohydrate intake on that. So, if you're under a guidance of a dietitian, then good nutrition versus supplements. What you see in this pyramid, the sports nutrition pyramid by many athletes and supplement companies. So, they will provide you these many supplements. Then nutrition का बहुत छोटा सा part है, and then बहुत छोटा सा part है balanced diet का. Otherwise, once we have evidence-based approach by sports dietitian and other experts, supplements are kept at minimum. Sports nutrition has importance, and the prime importance is of the balanced diet. So it is up to you how you build your pyramid. So the take home message is, individualistic approach is necessary for designing any athlete diet for the tournament as well as for the training. Assessment, nutrition plan is important. Monitor different phases of training and competition. Consult a qualified nutritionist. It is my suggestion to you. And food based approach is much better rather than only the supplement based approach. So food based approach plus supplements, if there is a need only, then we allow them to. So thank you so much for your patient listening. And thank you, Shakti sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
If anybody
Any
have any type of question,
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
anybody? Hello. Ma'am, are you getting my voice?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Somebody is asking about broccoli. जैसा कि लोगों में ये एक मतलब दिमाग में ये रहता है कि जो फैटी लोग कि ब्रोकली खाने से वेट लॉस जल्दी होता है, तो क्या क्या सजेशन आपकी तरफ से क्या देना चाहिए?
So, if we are say talking about only broccoli as a vegetable,
Yes,
so it is like it's a good vegetable having all the proteins, but eating broccoli only will not give you the, say, a certain amount of nutrients which is required by your body. And what will happen that only muscle mass will be lost on weighing scale, in which you will see, okay, I have lost certain kgs, but it is not your fat mass, it is your muscle mass. So eating broccoli for weight reduction, it is like putting yourself into some kind of a danger of having, protein losses with that. So always what I feel कि कोई भी एक चीज खाने से वजन कम नहीं होगा. If you want to make a permanent change in your say physique, you need to follow a proper balanced diet and achieve the goal with proper fitness.
exactly. And one question more, मैम. जैसा आपने बताया कि बिफोर ट्रेनिंग आपको कार्बोहाइड्रेट लेना मतलब रहेगा, तो वो जो ड्यूरेशन है, टाइमिंग कितना, मतलब टाइम के मतलब बीच में डिस्टेंस होना चाहिए ट्रेनिंग और कार्बोहाइड्रेट लेने के बीच का?
So, pre-workout, what we usually suggest to a gym goer is to have, say, 15 to 20 minutes earlier to the workout. They can have little bit of carbs with sustained energy proteins also. And post exercise, there is a 3 hours, say, protein and muscle synthesis, which is going in your body. So in duration of those 3 hours post exercise, you can feed yourself with high protein shakes as well as some complex carbs, if you want to reduce some weight, or else you can have simple carbohydrates also if you want to gain some weight.
Exactly. Yeah, participants, you can ask or share your views.
Yeah, I get a question. If the athlete injured in bed, what we suggest food? Mm. So the injury is not, so any kind of injury, whether it is happening to you in bed or during your field. So every injury needs a recovery. For that, we give them high protein with balanced types of carbohydrates for, say, optimal recovery. In food, what we can suggest is like protein choices are also there, plus your carb choices. It depends upon which is sport and how much kg the uh, that person is weighing. We need to assess and then give. It cannot be, given in general or with vague statement like that. But still, what we can say is like having a high protein diet will always help you in a speedy recovery. So we have another question. Before practice, what food taken for running events? Yeah, before the tournament, say, running events, like they require a lot of simple carbs. So overloading. Indians are basically eating a lot of carbohydrates, so we need not be recommending on having a very high carb diet pre-event. So like having say yadi, if it is a lunch time, you can have your dal and rice combo, your chapati and dal combo, with little bit of vegetables. It is good. And if you're training early morning, then you can have a juice or say there are some get road or certain drinks which are for high carbs. So you get in the market, and those drinks can be taken pre-event uh, for the running basically. Uh, then there is one question from Vishal. What should we do for shin bone pain? So again, you need to consult a physiotherapist for shin bone pain. Otherwise, all the bony pains can be treated with the help of a high protein diet with the supplements of calcium as well as vitamin D. And if there is some kind of say injury to the bone, then you need to consult orthopedician as well as your physiotherapist for optimal say care of your bone.
Ma'am, I got personally one question from participant side
Yeah.
कि जैसा कि ऑलमोस्ट क्रिकेट में देखा गया है कि रनिंग
Hmm.
ड्यूरिंग द जब रनिंग बिटवीन द विकेट कोई बैट्समैन ज्यादा कर लेता है तो इंस्टेंट अपन बनाना का इंटेक देते हैं, जैसे छोटा शॉर्ट ब्रेक हुआ तो
Hmm.
उस बनाना का देने के पीछे क्या पर्पस है?
It is for the magnesium which is required, because if there is a say in hot sunny weather, if the cricketer is running between the wickets and there is not enough supply of liquids on the field, they are not sipping on water, so they get cramps in their muscles. So banana is a very high source of carbohydrate, magnesium and potassium, which will help the cricketer to have lesser cramps during the session. That is the reason we give banana.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I don't know my level of questions, but I have one question. What is the diet of a thyroid person is different from normal person?
Yes, actually, thyroid patients, they have a slower BMR, and which makes them difficult to reduce weight personally. So, the basic principle what we follow for thyroid patients is high protein, moderate fats, moderate carbs, low salt, and no sugar in the diet. Then we ask the patient also to have a workout schedule, which will help them to increase their BMR. That will allow them to have some weight loss. The choice of food is also, say, particular for thyroid patients. We do not allow to have some vegetables, some fruits. Those are restricted for them. Then there are certain grains which should be avoided. So it's like, yes, it makes a difference for the thyroid patient for a weight reduction program.
Thank you, ma'am. If anyone have any question?
There is one question from Priya Trivedi. Ma'am, should we consume omega-3 for weight loss? Yes, omega-3 are helpful for weight loss, but you need to exercise and follow a well-balanced diet to achieve the, say, optimal weight loss. Plus, alone, omega-3 will not be able to make you reduce weight. It is like a holistic approach towards nutrition as well as exercise. Alone, consuming omega-3 rich oils will not be able to make you reduce. Anybody else with the questions? Or done? There's one more coming up. 3 new messages. Okay. Sir, are you getting any questions? Morning practice. Uh, Morning practice, what type of nutrition need? So it depends upon which sports you are practicing in the morning. So always for any kind of a sport, what we recommend is high carbohydrate and sustained release proteins for say for your endurance towards your exercise. So it depends what type of practice you are doing in the morning. For running events, we can allow with higher carbohydrates, whereas for the weightlifting exercises, it has to be controlled and in a balanced form.
Ma'am, one question from my side.
Yes, sir.
Uh, जैसा आपने बात की थी मैम हाइपरट्रॉफी की, हाइपरट्रॉफी
हाँ.
इट मींस थिकनेस ऑफ इंडिविजुअल मसल फाइबर एग्जैक्ट.
Yeah, yeah.
या तो ऑलरेडी एक ट्रेन्ड पर्सन है, उसके ऑलरेडी जो मसल्स है वो ऑलरेडी ग्रो कर चुकी है, उसमें मतलब उसकी थिकनेस ऑलरेडी आ चुकी है, तो क्या हमको उसको सजेस्ट करना चाहिए कि ही और शी शुड टेक प्रोटीन
Yes,
शेक?
yes. Actually, if you are building on skeletal muscles or the big muscles, major group of muscles, so to maintain them also, because what happens, the muscle cell have mitochondria, which are powerhouses. The burning starts at the mitochondrial level. So to if the person wants to maintain certain amount of those big muscles, he needs to consume enough proteins. Otherwise, the mitochondria and the muscle size will drop is when the proteins are deficient in the diet. So they need to, if they need to maintain it, they need to have proper balance of proteins and carbs to maintain them also.
तो मैम तो मेंटेन करने के लिए जो अपनी बैलेंस मतलब नॉर्मल डाइट होती है उसके थ्रू क्या उनको सजेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं कि एक्स्ट्रा सप्लीमेंट्स में ही हम उनको कराएंगे?
नहीं sir, for extra supplements we are not very into extra supplements, but if the person is able to meet up the protein requirements to food sources, it is very good. We do not ask for having a protein shake or a supplement for that. for hypertrophied muscles, if they can eat lot of say chicken, fish, eggs, and without having any kind of negative impact on their blood profiles, then these will be allowed. So it is like to maintain with a proper balanced diet, it is possible, but proper balance is the key.
Okay, ma'am. And one more question. सपोज एनी एथलीट जो है नॉन वेज नहीं लेता है,
Hmm.
प्योर वेजिटेरियन है, तो जो रिक्वायरमेंट नॉन वेज से होती है उसकी फुलफिलमेंट करने के लिए हमें क्या सप्लीमेंट्स या क्या फूड इंटेक्स के लिए सजेशंस देनी पड़ेंगी?
Yes, actually, what we also face this kind of a difficulty once we are having a vegetarian client. So what we usually say ki it is impossible to meet up to the 200 grams protein through vegetarian sources, because vegetarian sources, they come with lot of fats itself. Like if you're talking about pulses, dals, they are 50% carbs and 50% proteins. Okay. So if
Yes,
you allow them to take, you have to meet up to the protein requirements. So what are you going to give? Either paneer or then dal. So both the things, one has fat and one has the say carbs. So the gas formation, there is a stomach upset with lot of dal consumption because of the FODMAPs present in the diet. So it is like very tough for the vegetarian athlete to build up the muscles through only the dietary sources. So it's advisable for a 1 or 2 scoops of protein to be given just to spare the gut with a lot of discomfort which will be caused by the diet.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I think we are done with the questions. No, acha, some said running. Yeah, running. So Mahantesh ji, for running, you need to have some kind of a juice. It is a good choice to have a juice before running. Okay. And for any other query regarding your diet in your sports performance, you can come to the clinic as well.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
so much.
Thank you so much for giving your precious time to us, and very wonderful presentation given by you, and suggestions for how to eat foods for especially for athletes. And thanks a lot, ma'am. And
Welcome, sir.
definitely, yeah, ma'am, definitely we'll meet you by face to face.
In person.
Sure, ma'am.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Now, I
Thank
would
you so
request
much.
to Dr. Smriti, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation for the 5 days faculty development program. First of all, I want to say something. Ma'am, your smile is very wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for over here for giving a fortune lecture for us and allowance to everyone for your wonderful flowering word. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming here, and thank you all the participants for success of our 3rd day program. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks to all participants. Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. I would one request to you. Will you please share your presentation via mail to me?
Yes, sir. I'll
Okay.
send.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
In future, please, once again, you have to present your lecture, ma'am.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am.
When when is the next
Uh,
one then?
डेफिनेटली मैम, हम आपका
Program
जरूर एक लेक्चर
schedule
प्रोग्राम
will
करेंगे।
share with you.
और
Let's
मेरा
say
रिक्वेस्ट
university
मैम।
2-3 बार आ चुकी हूँ।
अच्छा
और
अच्छा, ओके मैम।
हाँ, I think
Thank you.
once I gave for all the first year students their nutrition for college goers. So all that kind of lectures I have already done Yeah,
Okay.
definitely I'll come again. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We'll call you soon,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.